So there's actually a question on Plato. So Helpa Campbell asks, did Plato seek to destroy man's mind like Kant did? He just wasn't as good at it?
I don't. I mean, people's motives when they do bad things are often mixed, and it's hard to apportion exactly how much is the thing they claim that they're after and how much is it, which is often good, and how much is it something hateful and bad. Um, Both Plato and Aristotle are very impressed with the developments in mathematics, where they're forming axiom systems. And they're trying to demonstrate geometric truths, from fundamental things. They're trying to understand the heavens in similar terms. And both of them have this idea that there's something the mind is doing when you're doing this kind of work that's unique to human beings, that's really special, that you're kind of alive and being fully human when you're doing this kind of thing. And they really value that. And they also both contrast it to other more prosaic forms, as they would see it, forms of reasoning, particularly ones involved in productive work. They associate this higher kind of reasoning with something you can do if you're, an aristocrat at leisure, in effect, and not with the kind of businessy thinking that's leading to an emerging middle class in Athens. A guy, he doesn't even have, ancestral wealth, and here he is, manufacturing shields for the army and making a lot of money. And both of them are kind of look askance at some of those people. And so, and they're not doing any of this kind of purely abstract reasoning that we, the philosophers, so value. So, what's going on here? Is it a real appreciation for something uniquely human and powerful about the kind of abstract reasoning that they don't yet know how to relate to the rest of human life, right? And they couldn't know it yet. It had to be learned over time, and it was a great achievement when Francis Bacon and others put those things together. So is it like they're glimpsing this tremendous thing that the part of our human power and they don't know what to do with it? Or is it that they're resenting people who are working for a living and the emerging middle class, and it's a kind of, lazy aristocrats slapping back at them? And I think, in fact, there's some of both motives in both thinkers, both Plato and Aristotle. And, it's hard to apportion how much of each in each.
Mhm.
Plato, though, there is this other strand of real contempt for and hatred of worldly things.
Hmm.
um Philosophy is preparing for death, and he's drawn to asceticism, and in a way that Aristotle isn't. And I think that resentment towards um bodily pleasures, resentment towards so many of the things of this world is a real part of Plato's motivation in a way that it isn't part of Aristotle's, and that would be the kind of life-hating, mind-destroying part of it.
But you wouldn't put him anywhere near a Kant.
I mean, I don't have an X-ray into either of their souls,
Yeah,
but I think
sure.
you get that much purer in Kant, and in Kant you have a reaction against um, happiness in a way that you don't have for Plato. You have the moralizing of the hatred of happiness. You have a very deeply Christian self-sacrificial strand that is not in Plato, and you have a fear that the Enlightenment is going to destroy altruism and are trying to protect the idea of sacrifice from the incursion of reason by, rethinking reason. And that, I think, is a very different kind of motivation. You don't have anything like that in Plato, in my view.
Yeah.